The morning sun cast long shadows across the steps of the U.S. Capitol as Rebecca Thompson adjusted her 8-year-old son Marcus's collar for the 5th time. Her hands trembled slightly, not from the crisp October air, but from the weight of the moment she had been planning for 2 years. "Mom, why are we here so early?" Marcus asked, his backpack heavy with schoolbooks. They had taken the first Metro train from their small apartment in southeast D.C., arriving before most tourists began their day. "Because today is special, baby," Rebecca whispered, pulling out her phone with the cracked screen. "Today we're going to take a picture that will remind us that dreams can come true." Rebecca worked 3 jobs, cleaning offices at night, serving lunch at a downtown cafe, and doing weekend data entry from home. Every dollar mattered in their household, but she had been saving quarters and dollar bills in a mason jar for months. Today she was finally ready to announce something that would change their lives forever. She had been accepted to law school after years of night classes at community college while Marcus slept, after countless study sessions at kitchen tables in apartments they could barely afford, after being told she was too old and too broke to pursue her dreams. She had done it. Georgetown University had offered her a partial scholarship, and she had secured enough financial aid to make it work. The Capitol building represented everything she had fought for: justice, opportunity, the promise that in America, a single mother from the projects could become a lawyer. She wanted this moment captured forever. Her and Marcus, on the steps where laws were made, where history happened, where a black woman from humble beginnings could stand as an equal. "Excuse me," she approached a well-dressed businessman walking by. "Could you take a picture of me and my son?" The man barely looked up from his phone. "Sorry, I'm late for a meeting," he muttered, brushing past them. Rebecca tried again with a group of college students. "We're actually running to class," one said apologetically, but they were already moving away. A tour group passed by, but their guide kept them moving briskly. Several more people walked by, all seemingly too busy or too important to stop for a simple request. Marcus noticed his mother's growing frustration. "It's okay, Mom, we can just take a selfie." But Rebecca knew a selfie wouldn't capture what she wanted, the full majesty of the Capitol behind them, the symbolic power of the moment, the image that would hang in their home as a reminder of what they had overcome and what they were building toward. "Just a few more minutes, sweetheart," she said, though her confidence was wavering. The morning was slipping away, and Marcus would need to get to school soon. Officer Jerome Williams had been working Capitol security for 12 years, and he had developed an eye for reading people and situations. From his position near the east entrance, he had been watching the woman and her son for the past 20 minutes. He noticed how carefully she was dressed. Her clothes were clearly older, but impeccably maintained, pressed, and clean. Her son's school uniform was similarly cared for, every detail attended to with the precision of someone who understood that presentation mattered when you couldn't rely on wealth to speak for you. Jerome had grown up in similar circumstances, the son of a single mother who worked multiple jobs. He understood the weight of moments like these. He saw how the woman's shoulders sagged slightly with each rejection, how she tried to hide her disappointment from her son, how she kept checking her watch, probably calculating how much time she had before work or before the boy needed to be in school. What struck him most was the way she looked at the Capitol building, not like a tourist taking a casual photo, but like someone who saw it as a symbol of something deeply personal and meaningful. Jerome made his decision. "Excuse me, ma'am," he called out, walking toward them with a warm smile. "I couldn't help but notice you've been trying to get a photo taken. I'd be happy to help." Rebecca looked up, surprised by the kindness in his voice. "Oh, thank you, but I don't want to bother you. I know you're working." "No bother at all," Jerome said, extending his hand to Marcus. "What's your name, young man?" "Marcus Thompson," the boy replied politely, shaking the officer's hand. "Nice to meet you, Marcus. I'm Officer Williams. This must be your mom?" "Yes, sir. This is my mom, Rebecca." Jerome could see the weariness in Rebecca's eyes, but also something else, a fierce determination and quiet pride that he recognized from his own mother's face during his childhood. "Where would you like to take this picture?" he asked, pulling out his own phone. "I have to say, I take pretty good photos. Been doing this for tourists for years." Rebecca's face brightened. "Really? If it's not too much trouble, could we get the full Capitol in the background, right there on those steps?" "Perfect spot," Jerome agreed. "The lighting is great this time of morning." As they positioned themselves, Jerome noticed Rebecca smoothing down Marcus's hair one more time, adjusting his backpack straps, making sure everything was perfect. These weren't casual vacation photos. This was documentation of something important. "Okay, let's get a few different shots," Jerome said, stepping back to frame the picture properly. Big smiles now. But as he looked through the camera, Jerome realized this wasn't just about taking a photo. Something about this moment felt significant, and his years of experience had taught him to trust his instincts. "These are beautiful shots," Jerome said, showing Rebecca the photos on his phone screen. "You two look great together. Special day?" Rebecca hesitated for a moment. Then the words came tumbling out. "I got accepted to law school. Georgetown. I've been working toward this for years, and I wanted a picture to remember this moment, to show Marcus that no matter where we come from, we can achieve our dreams." Jerome felt a surge of pride and recognition. "Law school? That's incredible. Congratulations." He looked at Marcus, who was beaming with pride at his mother. "You must be proud of your mom." "She's the smartest person I know," Marcus said without hesitation. "She studies every night after I go to bed." Something in Jerome's chest tightened. He thought about his own mother, who had worked 3 jobs to put him through college, who had believed in his dreams even when he didn't believe in them himself. "You know what?" Jerome said suddenly. "I think we can do better than just phone pictures. Wait here for just a minute." He walked back to the security station and spoke quietly with his supervisor, then returned with a professional camera that was used for official Capitol documentation. "This is a Canon that we use for special events and official photos," he explained. "If we're going to document this moment, let's do it right." Rebecca's eyes widened. "Are you sure? I don't want you to get in trouble." "I won't get in trouble," Jerome assured her. "Trust me." He spent the next 15 minutes taking professional quality photos from multiple angles. He directed them to different spots on the steps, capturing the majesty of the Capitol dome, the morning light, and most importantly, the joy and pride on both their faces. But Jerome wasn't finished. "Marcus, do you know what your mom is going to study in law school?" he asked, while adjusting the camera settings. "She wants to help people who can't afford lawyers," Marcus replied. "Like us." Jerome nodded thoughtfully. "That's important work. Your mom is going to make a real difference in people's lives." As he continued taking photos, Jerome began talking to them about the Capitol, its history, what it represented. He explained how laws were made, how democracy worked, why the building itself was designed to inspire hope and possibility. "You see those steps you're standing on?" he told Marcus. "Some of the most important people in American history have walked up those same steps. Presidents, senators, civil rights leaders, people who changed the world." He looked at Rebecca. "And now you're standing here, about to become a lawyer, about to join that tradition of fighting for justice. That's not just personal. Success, that's carrying on a legacy." Rebecca felt tears welling up in her eyes. This wasn't just about taking a photo anymore. This officer, this stranger, was helping her mark one of the most important moments of her life with the dignity and celebration it deserved. As Jerome finished taking the photos, he realized he wanted to do something more. He had been thinking about his own journey, his mother's sacrifices, and the countless people who had helped him along the way without expecting anything in return. "Rebecca," he said, "I want to tell you something. I've been working here for 12 years and I've met thousands of people. But every once in a while, I meet someone who reminds me why this job matters, why this building matters." He gestured toward the Capitol. "This isn't just a building where politicians work. It's a symbol of possibility. It represents the idea that in America, anyone can rise up, anyone can make a difference, anyone can achieve their dreams if they're willing to work for them." Rebecca nodded, moved by his words. "Your story, single mother, working multiple jobs, putting yourself through school while raising your son. That's the American dream in action. That's what this place is supposed to represent. Jerome pulled out a business card and wrote something on the back. This is my direct number. When you graduate from law school, I want you to call me. I want to take another picture of you and Marcus right here on these same steps. But this time with your law degree. Rebecca looked at the card, then back at Jerome, overwhelmed by his kindness. I don't know what to say. You've been so generous with your time. You don't need to say anything, Jerome replied. Just promise me you'll finish what you started. Promise me you'll become the lawyer you're meant to be. I promise, Rebecca whispered. Jerome knelt down to Marcus's level. And you, young man, I want you to remember this day. Remember that your mom didn't give up on her dreams, even when it was hard. When you're older, when you're facing your own challenges, remember that success isn't about where you start. It's about how hard you're willing to work and how many people you help along the way. As they prepared to leave, Jerome transferred all the photos to Rebecca's phone and email. But before they walked away, he had one more surprise. Actually, let me take one more shot, he said, positioning them at the perfect angle, with the morning light streaming across the Capitol dome. This one's for history. The final photo captured everything: Rebecca's quiet strength, Marcus's bright future, the Capitol building standing as a testament to possibility, and in the background, barely visible but symbolically important, Officer Jerome Williams, the man who had turned a simple photo opportunity into a celebration of dreams achieved and promises kept. 6 months later, Jerome received a graduation announcement in the mail. Rebecca had made Dean's List her first semester. Attached was a note. Thank you for helping me remember that dreams are worth celebrating and that sometimes strangers become angels when we need them most. Jerome smiled and pinned the announcement to his office bulletin board right next to the photo he had printed and framed, the one of Rebecca and Marcus on the Capitol steps, marking the moment when a single mother's dream became a symbol of what America could be when people believed in each other. 3 years later, when Rebecca passed the bar exam, she sent Jerome another photo, this time of her standing in front of a small law office with a sign that read, Thompson Legal Services, fighting for justice, one family at a time. And Jerome knew that sometimes going beyond duty wasn't about grand gestures or heroic acts. Sometimes it was about recognizing the importance of a moment, honoring someone's dreams, and helping them celebrate their victories with the dignity they deserved. The photo he had taken that morning had captured more than an image. It had captured the essence of hope, the power of kindness, and the promise that in America, every dream was worth celebrating, no matter how humble its beginning.